Welcome to another episode of Authentic Conversations through Transition Clarity. This is episode 26, and I'm happy to invite Teresa Lisum. Teresa has been on a personal path of transition, reinvention, continuous improvement, and growth for many years. Teresa has a diverse repertoire of life experiences, tools, and resources. Now, armed with her intuition, diverse training, and a coaching program to unleash your superpowers, Teresa offers a refreshing perspective on personal thriving. She empowers women to celebrate their strengths and invites us all to reveal in our zones of genius, embrace the uniqueness within each of us. Be sure to catch the show notes after to get her free offer of a superpower playbook. Follow her on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And with that, I'm happy to welcome Teresa to the show. And here's Teresa Lysam. Welcome to the show. Excited to have you here.
I'm so
So
delighted to be here, Adele. Thank you.
thank you. And so let's just give a little bit of background. How did Teresa end up here, empowering women, helping people be the best that they can be?
I don't know how far back to go,
Just
but let's
let,
just say I've started my awakening journey, we'll call it, mm, probably 15 years ago when I decided to take a massage course. I was a public school teacher, was not real happy, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, took this massage course and was introduced to all these alternative ways of thinking, these modalities. And it's like, what is this stuff? And so that I attribute that to my opening
mhm.
where things just broke open and I was reading a billion books like I was a sponge that's soaking in all of this information and learning about spirituality. And somebody was telling me about Reiki. I'm like, what the heck is that? And so it was just like, so I just kept following these breadcrumbs everywhere they took me. It was such a growing period for me. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. It hasn't stopped, but it has slowed down considerably.
Mhm.
Um, and so I, finished teaching anyway. Retired. I've been retired quite a while. Fell in love with essential oils. That opened up a path and a doorway to business. And I had to transform myself into a business minded person. That was a
Mhm.
whole nother thing. So I've had these little bits, these little times in my life where I had to reinvent myself or transition into something new. I had a new door open that I allowed myself and gave myself permission to step into. So when I was given the opportunity to become trained as a coach around this whole strengths concept, which I had been introduced to through my essential oil company, um, it's like, oh, I just so love it. I resonate with it. It's it's just how sometimes you just something just really clicks with you
Mhm.
and it's just like, oh, I love this stuff. So when I was given the opportunity to be trained as a coach using this strengths concept, I took that opportunity. It was really for myself, but then I ended up thinking like other people really, really need this. Women really need this
Yeah.
because I was undervaluing myself and I did not feel I was worthy of certain things and I was playing really small and and so knowing my strengths and understanding them really opened me up to see myself in it from a different perspective. I started seeing my value, started seeing my uniqueness and my worthiness. And I just want to share that with other women. I want them to have that same feeling about themselves. I want women to really feel good about themselves because I feel we've, at least for me and other people that I've known throughout my life, have been taking a back seat, and we kind of play second fiddle. And, you know, I'm women, as a woman, most of us understand what that means.
Well, and I'm going to say everyone on the world in the world understands that. If
Thank you.
I if
Mhm.
I could li- if I could sum it up in one thing, the world doesn't believe that we're worthy.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yep.
And it's just more prevalent in women
Hmm.
the more we are coming into our own, finding
Yeah.
our own voice. And and this isn't to negate men. And like
Right,
I
right.
keep on seeing this on the different platforms of like men can go find their own group and men, and I'm like, it's about unity,
Yes, it is.
right?
And,
Because
and you,
because the men I know and the men I'm talking to, they're here to support us. It's
hmm.
not one or the other. That's how we have had it for 2,600 years.
Yeah.
Now it's about coming to the unity
Yes, you
and
are correct,
and
and I appreciate you bringing that point up. I know some amazing men,
yeah,
and they are, again, here to support. We're here to support each other. But
yeah,
it's just been so male dominated in a negative way for so
yeah.
long.
Oh,
But that
I
is
agree.
changing.
I
And I
agree.
just feel we're here with women need to really step up and help that balance everything out. So
Yeah,
the unity is a balanced, set of energies. And we both know, we all know that that is happening now.
yeah. And so, do you strictly work with women, or will you entertain men too?
Oh yeah, I will definitely work with
Okay,
men. I just
okay,
feel women need it more,
yeah.
you know.
Okay, well, I
Um,
just wanted to
and it worked,
clarify.
yeah, and it worked for me and it helped me so much. And I just think of the women in my life that I've encountered and had, friendships with, like, man, they was so negateful. Is that even a word? Like about themselves. They just doubted themselves, didn't believe in themselves, didn't see their value or their worthiness. And that was my struggle as well. So I see
Oh,
that
and we're all
everywhere.
there
Yeah.
in some way. Like, and so it's also like stepping up to be the authentic self of who you are, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
and maybe worthiness is just the first layer that you hit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go down a few more layers and you're like confidence or and then it's like
Yeah,
because the word fear is just the blanket for everything else being hidden,
that's a good point. That
right?
is a good point.
And
It's like
so
a catch-all term.
yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
so like for the work I do, that the reason I have a lighthouse is I'm just here to share your light to you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Right. And I love the fact that you're wearing yellow today because it's like, yes, we all have the sunshine within us.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
And sometimes we just need a little nudge to help us realize that we are worthy and we are lovable and we are shining bright. And, maybe we have let that dimmer
yeah,
um,
yeah.
switch, take us down a bit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's for all of us to shine and grow together in the unity and to help the planet as a whole.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's needs to be a win-win for everyone,
Hmm.
not just certain types of people or certain groups of people.
Well,
Um,
so I want to go back a little bit to when you were teaching,
mhm,
because I think if we can help anyone the most, it's the teachers.
mhm. Yeah,
Because if they don't have their worth, how are they guiding the next generation?
yeah, that's a really good point.
And when I didn't work in a school, but I worked with a school, and I noticed it was mostly men teachers.
Yes,
And I thought,
yes.
how fascinating.
Mhm.
And then I found out that they actually had to apply for the job every year. And I said, you don't get tenure? No, we actually do our job. We don't have to worry about tenure. I'm like,
Mm,
interesting. So it was just a different way. It was a different model,
mm-hmm,
right? Um, I don't know if it was private school, but it was, oh, it was a charter school. So however
yeah,
that
that's,
fits into the regime,
mm,
I don't know. but
yeah,
but
we don't want to go down that rabbit hole,
no,
but
I know,
see,
but it's like
go ahead.
it's about empowering the kids. Because one time I saw the
Yes,
math
yes.
teacher in the gym, and I'm like, math in the gym, and she goes, "Well, they would sit in their seats, so we're going to run times tables."
Oh,
And I
cool.
go,
What
hilarious,
yeah, that is awesome.
because
I
they had
love
the
that.
freedom from the
Yeah.
principal.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Oh,
the authority in your classroom. Do what you need to do.
I love that. That is what
Right.
a creative person that teacher was.
Well, but that's the whole school. Like I was just in awe every day
Mm,
of,
neat.
and I've always had huge respect for teachers because a lot of my friends' parents were teachers, and even my own friends were teachers. And I always had huge respect for them because they had to have, you know, don't let the brainiac get bored, but don't lose the one that just isn't
Yeah.
getting it,
Yeah.
right? And you had to balance that all together, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and
Yeah. And I know a lot of people, they have first responders that they appreciate. And I appreciate all that whole group of service oriented people that are
absolutely,
here to help us do certain things. But sometimes I think teachers kind of get forgot or are forgotten because they're not out there saving people, but yet look at who they're working with. They're
yeah,
working with our future.
I know,
And if we could get this information that me and you know and talk about down to a younger level, man, ooh, that the whole world would just shift in such a more positive direction.
yeah. Well, and that brings us back to um the change or the transition that everything is going through, right? Like, did
Mhm.
you ever think that you were going to be leaving teaching to start a career?
No, I had no clue. I did not know what my future was going to bring me at that point in time.
And what
So
a
yeah, I
wonderful world that you've opened up by, well, what is Reiki? What are essential? How do they all
yeah,
work? Do they work together? Do they work opposite?
yeah,
Like, right? And so it's like the what I love about it is the teacher's never done learning,
yeah, right,
right?
exactly.
It's like
Yeah.
the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. You just
Mhm.
don't know what teacher's going to come to you,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
And I wish the public school system was able to do that
Yeah.
instead of, forcing information on students that they really don't need or want at that moment in time.
I think it's changing though.
It is changing,
Yeah.
but and maybe it will accelerate and change a little bit faster.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, to be able to give younger people this information and give them permission and let them know it's okay to be themselves,
Yeah.
to not be influenced by those around them or media or the culture or whatever. And it's okay to be different. That's why we're all here. We all are different, and that's a good thing. We need to celebrate that
Yeah.
instead of boxing and causing people to conform into small roles. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Well, and
that's
I think that's where coaching has really come to the forefront, um, because we are all unique. We all learn differently, and that
mhm.
means we all can't have the same style of coaching,
True, true. So
right?
yeah, find someone that you connect with and resonate with and yeah.
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
even with this stuff, the coaching that I'm working with, it's like it's not even about the surface level. It's like let's go deep. Let's go into the
Mhm.
DNA. Let's go into the epigenetics of the body,
Mhm.
of the home, of the what is keeping you stuck where you are, right?
Ooh, epigenetics. I love that word. I love that
I
concept.
never can say it though. I keep
Well,
trying. I'm
you
getting
just
better at
did.
it.
Epigenetics, and it's not everybody knows about it. They've never heard the word.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's being taught in lower levels in school, but I never learned about it till, like 10 years ago.
Oh, I just learned about it because I signed up for a coaching program.
Oh, yeah, it needs to be out there more. It shows that we're in more control than we originally thought.
Well, and it's really interesting because the program I follow, like we live where we live because of our epigenetics, right? Like as
Hmm.
a country, Australia is the early bird.
Hmm.
The earlier they can start their day, the better they are. And I'm like,
Really?
really? So it's really funny. So, like, I go to networking with the early birds of Australia, and I'm like, oh, it's perfect. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, perfect for me. And they're like, it's 6 a.m. And I'm like, are you joking?
Wow.
Yeah. And they
Not
love
know
it
that.
because they're like, get our networking over, start our day. Like, yep, 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 yep. I'm like,
Wow.
wow. Yeah.
That's
So,
impressive.
yeah. And it's very interesting. It's very interesting.
I
Um,
mean, I used to do that when I was teaching. I'd get up really, really early and have to be out the door and, but now that I don't have to, like, I try not to.
yeah. Well, I'm up. I just don't engage.
Right, exactly.
Right? Like, I
Exactly.
mean,
Yeah.
my early morning is about me and centering in my body and being grounded before I start the day, so I am a better coach or a better facilitator for the people who are coming to me, or, better podcast host, right? Because
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
done that morning practice of grounding and getting centered and aligning for what the day is going to bring.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I know
Yeah.
I created a morning practice. Oh, and I don't even know when I started that.
Mhm.
And it really, I would, yeah, suggest that and advise that for any person. Even if it's a one or two little things, it only takes you a couple of minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, just do it. Do something positive for yourself. Really kickstart your day in a positive way. And if the day gets out of control as you progress into it, at least you had that little bit of time at the beginning where you were setting the tone or you
Yep.
creating your intention or whatever, or grounding, like you said, getting centered.
Yep.
Um, and then I like to come back around in the evening and come back around to another practice, a gratitude practice,
Yeah.
where I take time to look at my day and write out who I'm grateful for and things like that. So it's almost like
Yeah.
bookends on either end of my day that is really, oh, I just so love that. It helps me finish my day if it was a chaotic day
Yeah.
and still in a positive way. And then I take that positive energy into my sleep and then wake up with that positive energy.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because yesterday in my gratitudes as I was going to bed, it was beautiful all day, except for that 15 minutes that I tried getting a 45-minute walk in because we had a storm blow through so fast. And I was like, I said, oh
Oh,
God, I said, you are funny. This is very funny of you. I said, I'm not appreciating your humor right now, but I get it.
oh, that I'm delighted you brought that up because sometimes I think the same thing, like, oh, the universe is so funny. What a great sense of humor.
Yeah. Well,
And
I
some
had to because I mean,
don't get it.
like we were having probably the first beautiful spring day we've had all of spring. And I'm like, okay, the weather's changing. Nope, not for when I wanted to walk.
Told ya.
And it's like, and so today, as in between all my meetings, I'm running out and getting 5 minutes of sun running because I'm like, I'm not losing the sun again today
I totally hear you. I know when
because,
I was living in Ohio, I would do the same thing. You get outside whenever the sun's shining.
yeah,
And yeah, and now I get a lot more sun, which is a lot nicer. But yeah, when you don't have it available to you all the time, you want to grab it when you can.
well,
So I
and that's
yeah.
the funny thing about where I live in Calgary is because we're known as one of the cities. the sunniest cities in Canada.
Really?
Yeah, like it
Hmm,
could be minus 30, but it is big blue sky and
really?
beautiful.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
you just got to wear
Huh.
10 coats.
Yeah. But the sun makes such a big difference
Oh,
though.
it
Even though
does.
the temperature is cold, you have that sun, at least for me, it's like, oh yeah. Like
Yeah,
I'm a big sun person.
yeah,
I love the sun. I love the light. I love these long days.
yeah,
And so this is my time of year. The solstice is coming up.
yeah,
I love that. Although sadly, it's also a sad day because then I know that it's going to be decreasing after that. But yeah, light sun makes a big difference for me, and it energizes me, and I thrive on it.
yeah. Hence why you wear yellow.
Yeah, and this is my power color too.
Yeah.
Yellow is my power color.
I love
So,
wearing yellow, but um in saying that, when you go outside here, you're kind of blocky yellow really fast because of all the aphids. And so I'm like,
really,
yeah, I'm like, you can't wear yellow in Calgary in the summer.
oh,
So
it's attractive to them, huh?
yeah, well, it's like a big flower, right? They just
Oh, that's true.
like, oh,
Hmm.
so because
But it was
I
you had
love
a
the color
jacket on
yellow.
anyway,
Yeah,
so.
well, I love the color, and I'm just like, and I was at a picnic with some friends, and the one looked at me, and I'm like, why are you looking at me like that? And she goes, you don't know you can't wear yellow here, and I'm like, oh my god, no, I had no idea.
Oh, that is funny. Wow. I did not know that either.
Yeah, so it became my yellow under my blazer in the winter. Perfect.
Oh, man. Yeah,
But
it's
so
it,
out of
it
out of your journey, your transitions, your changes, what would you say has been the biggest aha?
oh man. One of the biggest, which is most, I mean, it happened a couple years ago, but it was in a recent memory, um, is when I was going through my coaching training and I had to put a price tag on my coaching sessions, like what would I charge a person for one session?
Mm-hmm.
And we had um, a criteria of a money amount to complete the training. And it was just like, I just remember thinking like, oh man, this is all a mindset, isn't it? Like it really was a mindset because I couldn't get above a certain amount of money in my head that I would say that I was going to charge people. It was just like right in my face, like, oh man, like I can't even say, I'm just as $50. I don't remember what it was, but I can't
Yeah,
even say that because my value I felt I was not worthy of that. So I
yeah,
had to like really work my way up in what I felt because I know I have a powerful thing that I have to offer people that's very transforming.
yeah.
But I had to allow myself the permission to know that I was capable of offering that transformation. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And it's really interesting because I've been to those courses, right? And it says, well, you got to charge $100. You got to charge $500. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
says who? Well, this and this and this. I go, okay. So I know coaches that are charging $50 an hour because they just love it. They don't really need the money. It keeps their
Mm-hmm.
website up. I
Mm-hmm.
know coaches that are charging $1,000 for half an
Yep.
hour,
Yep.
and people are wanting to pay them more,
Mm.
right? And it's like, I'm not here just to take your money.
Right.
I've
Right.
known coaches to fire their clients
Mm.
because they want you to grow. Like coaches don't show up just so they can take your money. They want you to grow. They
Right.
want you to
Exactly.
prosper, right?
Exactly.
If you're not going to do the work, don't waste both of our times.
Yeah. Yeah.
And literally, I've had coaches say, well, how'd you get your number? I went, it sounds good. Okay. They
No,
literally
I
pick
mean,
it out
it's
of
all,
thin air. And
yeah,
so
yeah,
it
exactly.
and so you can start say with $50 or $100 and go
Hmm.
in 3 months, prices going up.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
right? Because you got more in your pocket, you got more understanding, you're getting
Hmm.
the reviews from people, and you're going, hey, I know my worth
Right,
because
right.
I
But
have these reviews.
yeah, but it's just, if you would have asked me 15 years ago, if I understood that it was a mindset thing, I would have argued that with
I
you.
know,
Like,
but see, but
no.
then, so I'm going to take it back to teaching, engineering, whatever,
Hmm.
because all companies say you got to be within this range,
Yeah.
right? So I had two people that I was working with. One was female, one was male, and everyone's like, oh, the females don't make as much as the males. I'm like, depends on your negotiating skills.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's not. And I go, absolutely. Because I had team members that straight out of university, the women made more than the men, right? Because all of a sudden they're just like, wait a minute, I got to support myself now. Like I got
Hmm.
university debt, whatever.
Yeah.
And I also had two seniors that went to university together, ended up back working together. She made way more.
Wow.
And when you saw them together, you're like, of course she would. She didn't take no for an answer. She did not need to take the offer you were offering if it was lowballing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
I,
one had side things that he was kind of like, I'm just getting my tenure, like my
mm-hmm.
years, and I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
it's interesting to be in that position to see
You're
those.
right. Right.
Yeah.
The difference, but I know even having conversations around money, it can be very difficult for some people. Just saying certain words can trip people up. And so it is this whole, it's a whole mental thing if you really look at it. And like you said, people just make,
Yeah.
up a number, they just snatch it out of the air and see if people will pay that. And that's what everybody's doing. That's what
Yeah.
all businesses, retail, all everybody's doing. You just slap a number on there and
Yeah.
see if the market will, go with it. But
Yeah.
an agreement. We're all in agreement that we're going to pay these prices or we're not going to pay this prices or whatever. But yeah,
Well,
that was one of my big epiphanies.
and retail is the biggest scam going because they jack it 200% and then give it to you on sale for 50. And I'm like, well,
Yeah,
no, it's
and
still
we're like,
overpriced. So I wait till it's like 70% off.
yeah, but we all want a sale though. But they're yeah, artificially jacking those up so they can drop it down to what so yeah, it is all it's just like a big game.
Yeah.
And so I had that epiphany when I was, nearing the end of my coaching training. I mean, even now it's not like I'm totally out of the woods on that, and I totally had a mindset shift, but it was comical almost like, oh man, this is everybody's really right. It's all between our ears.
Yeah.
So, which means everything is what we believe about anything is what is setting our limitations or what is causing our stress or what is, keeping us from doing certain things. It's
Well,
all about our
okay.
choices that we make about it.
And here, so here's a different side of it, right? So someone is doing their year end review, right? Well,
Mhm.
I I actually went into my one of my bosses. I was kind of like a feisty employee. That's why I couldn't be there.
No.
And I had said, he's like, well, what do you think? And I said, well, either you know the work I've done this year or you don't. Either you believe that I deserve the 3 point or you don't. There's nothing I can say any more than whatever I've done.
Hmm.
You can justify why you don't give me the 3 point.
Right, right.
And he kind of sat back and he goes, why'd I have to justify it? And I go, because I believe I deserve the 3%. You might say it's only 2.4. You justify why I don't get the 3,
Yeah, in his own
right?
mind, yes.
Yeah. And then he was just like, hmm. I go, hmm. Because either you see what work I've done for you or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Besides all the other stuff I knew I did that didn't
Yeah.
affect our team, right?
Right, right.
Right?
Um,
All
yeah,
the coaching that I get paid for.
and yeah, I know everybody's job is more than the job description, I've noticed. Like everybody creates their own role within that job. But I did want to get back to when I understood
Mhm.
a belief is only a thought that you keep thinking over and over and over. When I heard that, that was another epiphany, like, what? So,
Or do you want me to give you another one?
yeah, please.
Yeah, belief is only a lie that you think is yours,
Oh, there you go.
right?
Ooh,
Because the
I've
lie
not
is
heard
in
that.
that. It's just like a diet. Why do you want to go on a diet? Because you got to die.
So say that again. A belief is only a lie.
That you're believing is yours.
Wow. Yeah, I've never heard that.
And that's the thing about getting clarity. What is your truth?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you shining your light? Because if you're hanging on to the DNA beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
they might not even be yours. You might not even believe
Right.
them,
Right.
right? And so you're kind of going, well, if I don't believe it, why am I trying to uphold it as my
Yeah,
my truth?
exactly.
And then you wonder why the body gets sick or you get a cold. You don't get colds. The common cold is your body naturally getting rid of anything that doesn't belong.
Hmm.
You're trying to swallow untruth and your body's going, nope, let's
Mm.
cough it back up.
Wow.
So,
Woo.
right? So when you get a cold and you got to blow your nose and cough or whatever, thank your body for
Mm.
getting rid of all those untruths, unbeliefs, toxins that no longer need to stay in your body because you are
Mm.
aware and you're moving forward.
Mm. Wow, I love that. I never thought of a cold as that.
Yeah. That's why
Um,
there's no remedy for the common cold because it's
mm.
not a remedy.
Wow.
And the more
And
you have lozenges and crap like that, the more it will stay.
because you're not getting it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your body
Mm-hmm.
naturally, it's just like if you never went to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think your body's going to back up the system a bit and say, we're
Right.
getting a bit sick here? Hello.
Wow. So when you see somebody who's constantly have a cold every couple of months, which I see within my own family, like what is that saying? You know?
Well, there's more factors because yes, there are true allergies, but allergies is still only a belief system. There are fundamental things like you attract, right? You like it can be self-worth, it can be not living their purpose. It could like there's so many things and this yeah. Um that's a way bigger conversation.
Yeah, and everything's multi-layered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yet um when like someone says to me like, "Oh, I have another cold." And I go, "Why? What's wrong with you?" Right? And they're going, "What are you talking about?" And at that time, I probably hadn't had a cold since I was in high school.
Oh.
And I'm around kids. I'm around like, and
Mm-hmm.
they're like, "How?" And I go, "Because I cleanse my body. I look
Mm.
after my body. I do exercises that keeps the lymphatic system drained." They go, "What's that?"
The
Right?
lymphatic system?
I know. So yeah, like so when people don't understand their body, how do
Yeah.
you know how to
Yeah.
keep it clean?
Yeah, that's a good point. Now, this might sound weird, and when I remember growing up, going through school, learning about the body and taking biology class in high school, like I didn't realize everything was connected because we learn about this part, then we learn about this part, and then we learn, like, I just really had no concept that it was a unified whole.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize the mind and and the body are connected and they work together. Like, it took me up until way late in adulthood to understand that. Like,
Yeah.
it was that concept, either I missed it in school or it was just
They
not
didn't
something
teach it.
that was taught. And like, to me, that's a huge oofpa. Like, that's probably the most important thing that needs to be taught.
Well, and just okay, like so education and sex ed. They teach you, just don't have it.
Good point.
And I came from a little town, a really, really small school. We had a lot of teen pregnancies.
Mhm,
Abstinence is great, but you got to teach more,
mhm, mhm.
right?
Wow. Yeah, and then that, to me, that boils down to self-worth as well.
Well, I think it depends on each case because I some of them are still married to this day, like
Mm,
right, and loving life, and others,
mhm.
went the other way, and yeah, I mean it's each person has their journey,
Yeah,
and I'm not here to judge anybody.
right, right.
Like you know, oops happens,
Yeah,
but it
yeah,
also happens in married couples,
yes, for sure. And
right?
that,
And
yeah.
it's like, I thought we were done. Well, unless you do stuff about it, you're
Mhm.
never done. And I mean, we're totally getting off topic, but
I was gonna say, where is this going?
I know, but the thing is like pharma, like knowing your body and whatever, is pushing one of these drugs. Well,
Mhm,
it takes away the effect of the pill. So you think you're doing the right thing and you're ending up pregnant because you're on this other drug.
mhm. And then maybe that's part of why we don't pay attention to our body. We don't understand the connectedness and we don't understand how to cleanse it and to ground it and trust it that it can heal itself, because we're bombarded with all these messages like, well, you just take this pill and that you'll be better, and you just take this, and oh, look at, they're singing about
But
this.
it's like I don't know if it's a proverb or whatever, but it's like where can we hide the secret of life, right? And they're saying, "Well, hide it in here and hide it in here." And then the mole comes along and says, "Well, hide it in their heart. They never look there."
Oh, wow. Mm,
Right? So
yeah.
if we want to know the answers, we have to look within.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
as we look within, we end up shining bright,
Hmm.
right?
And then, and yeah, not everybody wants to go that route.
I know, but I'm just
And
saying,
that's
okay,
okay,
so
but
even in your transition, where would you have been if you didn't start awakening to all these amazing possibilities of a
I
whole new life?
I
And now
don't
you get to
know.
show your kids and your grandkids,
Mhm.
keep learning. There's a
Yeah,
whole amazing world out there.
yeah, yeah. I really have no clue where I would be at this moment in time.
Yeah.
I can't even guess what the alternative would have
Well,
been.
and I think this is where um, coaching and the growth happens the most is you play the what if game.
Mm,
What if I stayed where I am? What if I
mm.
changed? What if I learned? What if where would I be? Right? Because who knows? There's no proof that we're only living one life,
Right. Oh, yeah.
right? We could be running 5 lives or 500 lives all at the same time.
Hmm.
We don't know. And
Yeah.
so it's like that movie Sliding Doors, right? She goes in one door And this happened. She goes in another door, that happened. She goes in another door, that happened.
Oh, I cannot say I've seen that.
Oh, it's very good with Gwyneth Paltrow. But
Hmm.
it's like they all could be true and none of them could be true because it comes down to our personal choice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's every day we're making choice to where do we want to go? What do we want to
Yeah.
get?
Yeah.
Right? Who are we connecting with?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been getting a good swack. I'm like, I don't want to talk to that person, but I need to because they booked in.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously they want to talk to me. So I graciously accept the call. By the end of the call, I'm like, I am so glad I judged you wrong.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Shame
yeah.
on me.
Yeah. Oh, no, I've done that multiple times in my life
Yeah.
where I judged somebody and was totally wrong about them. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
And I admonished myself, like, like why do we even try to judge people? Because we really don't know. We know nothing about them other than a few minutes interaction or whatever.
Because it's also
Even if
our insecurities coming up.
true, true. That
It's
is true.
like we meet and you just push my button and I don't even know you pushed my button. And then
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what is going on? And now I look at it as in order to have the sun, we need the moon. That doesn't mean the sun isn't shining ever. But the
True.
moon's coming to say, huh, do you want to be a little bit more gentle with yourself? Huh, do you
Mm-hmm.
want to get some rest maybe? Huh, you being a little hard on yourself today? Thank you, moon. Thank you, moon. Right? As we go to bed, we're in our gratefulness that we have a moon to say,
Mm-hmm.
we can be a little bit more gentle with ourselves today.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
And and again, that's a thing that so many of us are not gentle with ourselves. We are not giving ourselves grace. We are not speaking to ourselves in a loving way. We are not, mm, we are speaking to ourselves in a way that we would never speak to our friends.
Well, and I wonder how much of that is the conditioning because our parents and grandparents didn't know to do that. They're too
Yeah,
busy
right.
working
Yeah.
and being so tired and they didn't have all the technology we have or the
Hmm.
electricity that we have. So they had a harder life. So they didn't have time to
Yes.
go, oh, what are my feelings? I better tap
Right.
in.
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah.
Yet,
Yeah.
yet um I think I've learned so much from my grandparents, even as a young girl, like that they were able to take in the simplicities of life with me that they couldn't with my parents.
Mm.
They could take the leisurely stroll through the garden
Right.
because
Right.
they didn't have to support the family.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. Being a grandparent is so different than being a parent.
And
I've
it's
been
a
both.
totally different connection to
Yes.
you to your grandchildren to you to your
Hmm.
kids.
Yeah. As a grandparent, you're not in survival mode, as you said.
Yeah. But
Um,
it's just like I look at my grandniece and nephews and my relationship with them will never be what I had with the parents.
mhm.
And like with my nephews, I had a really, really good relationship with them, but it's a different relationship to the next generation.
Well,
And now I see where my grandparents played a huge role. Because
mhm.
as a kid, I used to say, no, I can't come out and play. I gotta play cards with my grandma. And she'd say, no, go and play if you want. And I said, no, I want to play cards. And it was nothing about my grandmother.
Oh.
It was about me wanting time with her, knowing she's
Mhm.
old,
Oh, how
right?
sweet.
Because
Mm.
she didn't set out to teach you anything, but
Mhm.
you in later when you grew up, you're like, oh my gosh, they taught me everything. Like my
Mm.
grandfather taught me all about the energy, about
Mm.
the beauty of nature and hug the trees and nurture everything.
Mhm. Yeah,
right?
my mom was a, I mean, I had another epiphany I had
Okay.
when, I mean, I've always, there was always some tension there in that relationship. But when I had the realization that she was one of my greatest teachers, even though it was not smooth sailing, like that gave me a different perspective on her. Um, and I had more respect and more mm, positive feelings around it. Again, even though there was some tension there,
Yeah.
it was like, oh, she's here to teach me certain things about myself.
Yeah.
And I mean, that kind of went a little bit off tangent, but yeah, she taught us about being outside and loving the outdoors and respecting nature and that kind of stuff. Um, and yeah, my youngest daughter for sure, her grandmother, my mom had a profound influence on her love of nature and
Yeah.
what how her life played out in terms of what path she wanted to follow.
Well, and I think if anything someone learns from our conversation today is taking a breath, being in the presence,
Yes.
loving nature, remembering our gratitudes and our blessings of every day.
And being present with the people in our lives like you
Yeah.
were with your grandmother.
Yeah. And
Mm,
yeah, and I'm probably just as present with her now from the other side.
mm,
Cuz I'll be like, "What was that message?"
mm.
Right? And so yeah, like that, I mean, and we're never too old to be the student.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
When we're ready to show up, the teacher appears or the coach or the whoever, right?
Yeah. Never too old. Age is just a number
Exactly.
that it,
I'm doing a Benjamin Button. I'm going younger as I go older.
yeah, yeah, me too. I love that.
Yeah. Oh, I when that movie came out, I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's me."
We're you thing. Michael Bernard Beckwith, he uses
Mm,
the term you thing, I believe,
yeah.
meaning becoming more, younger, more full of vibrancy and vitality. And yeah, if your viewers and listeners haven't checked out Michael Bernard Beckwith, I would highly
Love him.
recommend him. Very,
And he's also the founder of Agape Church,
yeah, yeah.
which
Oh
isn't
my God,
really a
such
church.
such a dynamic personality. Whew,
Yeah.
great
And to
stuff.
be in his presence is quite an amazing thing.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I am sure. I'm sure he radiates
Yeah.
some light and energy from a half a mile away.
Yeah. Yeah. He's quite the brilliant man.
For
So
sure.
as we're coming to an end,
Mhm.
what insights or aha moments do you want to share regarding your coaching or this conversation or,
Mm,
you know,
wow. We went in so many different
I know.
so many directions, so many paths, so many good gems. Um, I just, we are all of the light. Having someone outside of yourself, such as a coach,
Hmm.
to help reflect your light back is really, really important. I know we're both coaches, and it thrills me and energizes me to help someone see themselves as the light from a positive perspective, in a way they never saw themselves before.
Yeah.
And, I just talked with a young woman yesterday. I was doing some coaching, and she's just like, like she had never thought of certain things before about herself until we were talking it through. So, my invitation to people watching this is be open to reaching out to another person, a coach, a mentor that can reflect back to you who you really are, and then believe them.
Yeah.
Don't dismiss it. That's and embrace our light and embrace our authentic selves and allow that to shine out so that we're uplifting the world.
Yeah.
I think we all have a role in that upliftment and the healing of the world.
And I just want to add to that because that's very true. And where a coach can elevate it a step further over your friends and family and stuff is we listen differently. We're listening for that hiccup that's holding you back from your truest,
Yeah,
brightest light.
right.
And and your friends and your family can be that support system and that loving, nurturing system that's always there. But that coach is just there to truly get to that point
Mm-hmm.
quick, quickly, that you can move forward faster.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
um,
And
yeah,
your family, and just real quick, see you in a different way than
absolutely.
third person who's objective, doesn't have that family connection with you, can help you see yourself in a different perspective as opposed to your family members. So yes, they're a wonderful
Yeah,
support system, but they're not seeing you as a coach would see you.
yeah. So thank you for being on the call. Everyone, check the show notes to be able to follow Teresa, get her free gift. And thanks for joining Transition Clarity for another authentic conversation.
Thank you so much, Adele. This has been great. And thank you, everybody watching and listening.
Wow, what a great conversation with Teresa. We went all over the place. I hope you get some good nuggets out of this call and you follow us on Transition Clarity for the next authentic conversation. We have some great new guests coming up. And just know that anything you hear here is just for awareness, some knowledge. It's not a prescription or anything like that. We'd like you to subscribe, follow us, join us. If you know of anyone who would like to be on the show, um, get a hold of me at Transition Clarity, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.